right, welcome back. This is number 14, actually, of Discovering the Foundational Truth. My name is John Lemus.
Hussein Ambroa, your name.
Oh, my name is Rez the Comedian.
There you go. Just give you an idea why we actually meet. It's the more trouble you have in life is the less amount of truth you know about God's Word. So the idea is the more truth you know, the smoother it is. And we usually start with a couple questions. This first question is going to be, I'm going to start with you, Hussein. It says, I've shed many skins on this journey to find me. What do you think they're talking about?
For me, from my understanding, it's like learning lessons and growing up, because that's where you shed skin, and and that skin ain't for you no more. You become somebody different, same person but different actions.
Okay. You got anything for that or no? It says, I've shed many skins on this journey to find me.
Yeah, like more of what he said, but like what you go through, and you kind of come out of that as a better person.
Okay.
So it don't even have to be better, but it just could be something different.
Definitely different.
You know what I'm saying? Every situation makes you a different person.
All right, second one. If you avoid conflict to keep peace, you start a war inside yourself. So if you avoid conflict to keep the peace, you start a war inside yourself.
Start a war inside yourself.
Yeah.
I don't get that one.
You lose your happiness, or
Lose your happiness.
You sure? I mean, it look
When
like
you avoid conflict,
what you avoiding
to
conflict
keep
for?
your peace, you actually start a war inside yourself.
Yeah, you start fighting your own emotions
I can feel that, because
Instead of letting
I did that
instead of
like
letting it
a
out.
few weeks back, and yes, it could have went left and just
I think
calmed it down.
I think most people do that anyway. I don't
Yeah.
know why you trying to do that though.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Circumstances do not make the man; they reveal him. Circumstances do not make the
Oh, they
man,
show who he really is.
they reveal him.
Reveal your truth.
Realistic, yeah. That-
Okay, a lot of people say that you can't really do anything until you have this happen to you, this happen to you, but really you are who you are. And like you said,
Realistically.
the more circumstances you run into, the more you understand how strong you are.
Agreed.
Okay.
So, our difference between truth and fact. Any idea? What's the difference between truth and
Well,
facts?
Truth don't change. A fact can change any
Okay,
moment.
truth don't change. Truth.
Oh, you just taught me something.
Yeah.
The
I had to
facts-
think about that one.
facts definitely change depending
Okay,
upon
I
the
get what you're saying.
circumstances.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
So truth is actually spiritual, and the facts are actually physical.
Physical.
All right. Truth is actually eternal and unchanged. Just like I said, it doesn't change. The truth will not change with a new discovery. Okay, the truths are the truths.
It's just the
Simple
truth what
as
it
that,
is.
yeah.
Yeah,
Facts will change with science. Like we never really realized how there's like small little amoebas and little microscopic organisms. Bless you, until we actually invented the microscope.
Yeah, that's true.
But the truth was they were there the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
The facts, didn't line up with the truth because we didn't have anything to see them.
Right about that.
So once you can see them, then that's how it's going to stay. The truth is always a fact. It's called a spiritual fact, but the facts are not always true. So the idea is your facts will change depending upon the circumstances. Right now, I'm sitting here at Wavy's house. That's a fact. It's going to change though. 'Cause I can go home.
yeah,
You want me to stay all
yeah.
night.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you do what you gotta
Alright.
do.
I'm staying tonight.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. We are made in the image and likeness of God. Whatever God says about himself, indirectly telling you about yourself. What the heck does that mean? Like, whatever God says about himself, he's indirectly telling you about yourself.
Whatever, you repeat that again. Whatever God said about
Himself. He's indirectly telling you about yourself. So whatever God says about you or about him, he's indirectly saying that is what you are supposed to do.
Yeah, for sure. You're supposed to mimic God. Just,
Okay.
words.
So you're actually one of the first things it says in the Bible. It says God is a creator. He created the earth and the stars and all that kind of stuff. So you're supposed to be a creator. That's the first thing. If you're not creating, you're not going to be fulfilled. That's why a lot of people, when they take a job, they go there and they do the same thing for 8 hours. You're not really creating, so you're just like, oh, this is like a waste of my time.
Yeah.
All right.
So you want to be a creator, you have to have contribution, you have to have connection to actually feel fulfilled. So you have an appetite and capacity to create, is the first feature of God's likeness. Like I said, jobs are going to do nothing but, bore you to death. So the second thing you got to understand is you actually create your own world. You are the sole creator of your subjective experience. Subjective means inside. Objective is like objects around you. You don't
Right.
create every object. There's people that do create the objects.
Yeah.
You don't have to create everything. So if you actually believe that, do you believe that you create your world?
For sure.
Yes.
Okay, that's a good thing.
Yeah, because from
So
point
you
of
are
view,
creative and you create your world. You actually create your world through your words. Think about that.
yeah, I mean, I could say words.
What you
and
say is
action.
powerful, basically.
What you say is powerful, and what you say it is, it is. One of the first things God had Adam do was name the animals. Now, he could have just named them all if he wanted to, but he was trying to teach Adam how that whatever words he spoke about something is going to create what that thing is. So the idea is, like I said, what you think about something is, it will be, until you change your mind about what it is. Like I said, when you change your mind about what it is, that's actually going to change what it is.
All right.
Okay. So you create through your words. You create your subjective experience through your words, your language, and your thought. Your world or your thought is your truth. Okay, it's going to be true to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If there's people walking around this earth saying, the whole earth is, burning up, it's just going down, it's like, I don't know, chaos everywhere. That's the way you're going to look at the world. Okay, you can walk around and say, everything's fine in my world. Like I said, it depends on how you put your words and your
Yeah.
thoughts to what's going on.
Yeah, you make it yourself.
Yep, you make it yourself. So your world or thought is your truth. Your perception is your reality. So how you look at it is how it's going to be. You can only change your reality by changing your perception.
Yeah.
So the idea is, if you're looking at something and it's going bad, you can't really change what's outside. You got to change how you look at that.
Right.
And I use this big time at school because kids are going to be kids, and if they're cutting up or doing something, I can look at them. Oh, they're horrible. They're mean. They're doing whatever. Or I can look at it as that's just stuff that has to happen.
Yeah.
So I don't put a lot of emphasis on it, and it kind of just goes away because it's just energy. It's going to flow. So talking about God, power of the word. When God is speaking, He's actually creating. So anytime He speaks, He creates, just like you. When you speak, everything that comes out of your mouth, you create something with that. Whether you create how you feel inside yourself or how anybody around you feels, you're actually creating that situation.
Right.
So God's word in your mouth has power in your mouth. So if you actually know any of the truths that are in the Bible, you can speak them just like God can speak them, and they'll actually come true. So that's something you got to remember. So when you are speaking, you are creating your own internal world.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We're called to actually speak truth in the face of facts. Okay, the way you change something, say if you're broke right now, and you say that, the Bible says you're supposed to be the head, not the tail. You're supposed to be the lender, not the borrower. So if you speak the truth in the face of facts, the facts will change. You got to believe it. If you believe it, then it's actually going to change for you. Talking about, let me see here. This is something that's actually in the Bible. It says, I will make my words in thy mouth fire, and this people wood. It shall devour them. So when you're speaking the truth, the people that are going against that truth, it says right in the Bible that they're going to get basically devoured.
Simple
You
as
can't really
that.
go against the truth.
No, it's
Yeah,
God's
yeah,
not
'cause the
changed.
truth is
You're
true.
gonna fail.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, switching it up a little bit. You live in a mirror verse. Okay, your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. I need some kind of talk about this.
You said a mirror.
verse.
A mirror verse.
So if you think about it, if I look and I see a mirror, what does it do?
Reflects.
It
It
reflects.
reflects what's going on.
Yeah.
So when you're looking at something, you're looking at a situation, you got to think of it as a mirror because how you see it is going to be determined by how you feel about yourself inside.
Yeah.
So your outer world is a reflection of your inner world.
Yeah.
There's some people walk around all miserable. It doesn't matter. I have a kid that comes into school once in a while. Hey, good morning. and she's all mad.
Yeah.
Because her outer world is
Yeah,
affected
it's
by her
a-
perception of what's inside.
Yeah.
You know, it could be trauma, could be almost anything that's in there, but
Yeah.
that's just the way it is. So if you want to change something on the outside, what
You got to
can
change something on the inside.
Yeah, your inside has
Yeah.
to change.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody tries to change everything physically. Okay, it has to change, inside or spiritually. Okay. Going to your value is determined by how many people you can serve. What the
Yeah.
heck does that mean?
I mean, if you provide a service or a product, so
Yes.
your wealth can definitely be provided. Like that's that.
Okay, so how do you get more wealthy? How do you get more valuable?
Like create more services. And
How do you create a service that can serve more people?
I mean, how you create from my point, it depends for a service, like you could say like a website or it's all kinds of things. You want to network with the people and get them to your product.
You create what they need.
Yeah.
So then whatever they need, that's the service that they need, and it's undeniable. So now they have to.
So how do you
Water.
scale it, though? Is what I'm
Scale it
saying.
is create the system to scale it. Have a team, and realistically,
It's definitely going to take teamwork. Everything's going to take.
Because
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
try and do it all by yourself.
No,
yeah,
no,
have a
it's not
team and a
going.
system.
Yeah.
Because most people, once you go to work, once you just say you get hired, they're gonna take you towards orientation. They're gonna show you how to do it and all that. That's that's a system they have
Yeah.
in place. So
Yeah.
stuff like that.
All right. So the key is to keep company only with people who uplift you, whose presence calls forth your best.
Oh, that's just
Sure.
that's just
That's
fact.
common
Fairly
sense.
simple.
That's just that's just
Because
plain and simple.
Everybody that does not have your best interest in mind is going to be like a weight.
For
I think
sure.
I think you are the company you keep. Honestly,
Yeah, you definitely are. And like I said, do you like yourself? Yeah, I mean, if you don't like yourself, you
yeah,
can't change it.
yeah.
For
Because you
sure.
ain't going nowhere. You're still
Yeah,
there.
you ain't running from yourself.
Right. Yep. Okay. Only the disciplined ones are free in life. If you aren't disciplined, you're a slave to your moods. You're a slave to your passions.
For sure, it's controlling you.
Okay. So
Oh man,
talking about emotional intelligence. If you don't understand that when somebody says something about you, there's only two things that can happen. It
That's
could be
reflect-
it can be projection or it can be holding them accountable. Most people don't hold you accountable to too much. They
Yeah.
actually project how they feel on you.
yeah,
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
like I said, if you're disciplined and you understand that, then what somebody else says should not bother you.
should not bother. Yeah,
Yeah, because that's their opinion of whatever the situation is. That's what
Right.
it is. So, okay, we talked a little bit about the values and how to make something more valuable. The first level of value is actually implementation, like the person who actually does the job. They're the one that makes the least amount of money.
That's hard.
That's the worker.
yeah. The worker.
Okay, if you're
Yep.
the worker, you're capping yourself out about 80 grand.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Second level is unification. So if you start out as a worker and all of a sudden you can unify more people, so you're
A
like
manager.
a manager.
You're like a supervisor, manager. Yeah,
supervisor,
yeah.
So you can make a little bit more money if you
Yeah.
can unify people. Third level is communication. So if you can communicate your passion to a whole group of people, then you can move yourself up.
Yeah.
So
I like
your
how you put
communication
that.
skills, cover three main areas. Okay, your first communication skills is conversation skills. Okay, if you're good at conversating, you'll be able to bring more people on board. You'll be able to, share your passion with people, and like I said, you'll be making more money.
Yeah.
You got to understand, first of all, communication isn't a talent. It's actually a skill that can be, developed. So the better you get at communicating whatever it is you want to do or whatever you need, the better you're going to, get results. So these skills will get you in the door. So you have to be able to conversate even just to get in some doors. Just even, be in the room
Yeah,
with
you
people.
gotta learn how to talk.
Yeah, you got to secure invitations, unleash favor on you. People love great conversations and will favor people who can tell stories.
You gotta persuade.
Yeah, so persuasion is definitely a big part of it. Okay, so one is conversation skills, two is presentation skills.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, when you're selling something or if you're having, if you have a product that you want somebody to take off of your hands, you have to be able to present the value
Oh yeah.
Of
has
the
to be
product.
higher. It
Yes.
has to be higher than what the money they're paying.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, so whether you address an audience or an individual, in person or in writing or virtual, you must master the art of presenting your compelling case in a way that connects to their heart and their mind.
Agreed.
So, okay, and then the last one, first one's conversation, second one's presentation, third one is negotiation skills.
Oh, that one.
Okay, so you have to be able to come up against objections, counterclaims, rejections, excuses are a natural part of business life. You can reach an agreement through effective negotiations. So the whole idea is, like I said, if you cannot negotiate, if you're a hard-line person, you're not going to be able to do real well in business.
Yeah, that ain't gonna work.
Yeah, because some way you got to feel that you're giving them more value than what they're paying.
Yep. Even if you save them $5 sometimes.
Yep, that's
Yeah.
all.
Hmm.
But you don't want to undersell yourself.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, yeah.
Just
You
to
want to
get
keep
rid
the
of a
value.
product, yeah.
Want to keep
Yeah,
the value.
You have to keep the value up, but like I
But
said,
you
you got
wanna
to
know
know
how
who you're
to-
messing with.
Yeah.
Definitely. I mean,
Yeah.
a consistent customer, I'll definitely give them
Yeah.
a discount.
Because as a customer,
Yeah.
discount. That's gonna be me.
Okay, so
Okay,
great
sure.
communicators, you got to think about this. Great communicators are not talented, they're skilled.
Their skill. Okay.
So if you think about communication as a skill, then you think you can build your own skills with it.
Yeah.
You know, you don't think that, I don't have that talent, so I'm going to try something else. Everybody can communicate. You just have to find what you're passionate about and then be able to communicate in that lane, so anyone can learn it. That's the biggest thing about communication. The master key to communication to understand is, like, the best thing you can do is get intentional exposure to good communicators. So you can read people's books. If you see somebody that's a really master communicator, if you want to try and emulate what they're doing,
Right.
you can read their books, you can listen to their presentation, you can watch them as they work, and you can model their style. So, but intentional exposure is what you need. You can't just make it up. You know what I'm saying? It's like some people are just that good at communicating. And if they are, and you want to be close, you have to get into what they're doing. So your business success will depend on your ability to communicate the promise or the value of your product. You have to be able to communicate the value and the vision of your business to your team. So all these are all about communicate. Communicate the potential of your business to your investors. Communicate the performance of your business to your stakeholders. And the value of your business to your families. We did a lot about business last week. But like I said, the biggest thing is, like I said, if you can't communicate what you're trying to get across, then you're going to be in trouble.
It ain't gonna work.
So, the week before the business and the scaling, we did something on just mind shifts. Okay, when you mind shift, basically meaning that you take a situation, you could change the whole situation up just by how you think about it. So if there's something that's bothering you, it's not how can I physically change that situation. It's how can I think about it differently. Because everything you want is already here.
All right.
It's like you don't have to really create anything. It's already there. So, just in real quick review, it's all about people is the first mind shift. Remember, your first part of your life is about acquiring things. Some of us are still there. Second part of your life is about having experiences and actually shaping your identity and self-worth. And then the last part of your life is usually about people and relationships. So once you get that idea, you can almost have it like a hack and skip to that third part, because the more people and relationships you have, everything else will come. Everything will come.
Yeah.
Your experiences will come. Everything works out that way. The second one that we talked about was you don't need an audience. Okay, we need to master the levels of communication. Do you remember them at all?
I wouldn't know them
remember?
off the top of my head.
Okay, so when you're a communicator, this guy McManus, he actually put it in 7 different categories of what type of communicator you are. And the reason why it's important is if you understand what type of communicator you are, then you're going to be able to reach different types of audiences.
Okay.
And the biggest thing is to understand in communication that when you're talking to a certain audience, they actually hear differently too. It's like they hear a certain way. So I'll just give an example. If you're a motivator, it's like you never really say anything negative. You're inspiring. The idea is some people don't really get motivated by people motivating them.
Yeah,
you
true.
have to talk to them a certain way. And one of them is like a challenger. So give you an idea, like E.T.
E.T. Yeah, that's
he's
what I
a
say. Ain't that
challenger.
like his lane right
Yeah,
there?
you. Yeah, it says do more, call you out, act. So a commander is like they just tell you what to do.
Yeah, that ain't gonna
So
work.
I see a lot of commanders.
Don't work.
I know.
I'm
I
sorry.
I see a lot of commanders that are in education. It's like they get
Yeah.
so smart about what they do. They're just telling you what it is, and that's
Yeah.
the kids don't care what you know until they know how much you care.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So
Ooh.
that moves you into what's called the healer, which is focusing on your brokenness, your pain, your trauma, So
that
if
like
you're- if you're
therapist?
trying- yeah, yeah.
That's like
But if
more
you're
like-
trying to teach somebody something, you can actually tell, your audience, depending upon how they react. You might have to go into that healer mode. Professor, just change happens through knowledge and data. Seer is like someone that can limits and boundaries actually disappear. You mess around with Haji sometimes, he don't understand the word no at all. Like he'll find a way to do something. Doesn't
Right.
matter.
But
So
that
he's,
don't-
he's actually a
The
seer.
only thing about that takes a lot of time.
Well, I'm saying I told you that with that seer, there's actually a shadow communication frequency, which is actually perfectionist. So sometimes he spends more time just trying to fiddle with one thing, whereas you don't have to be perfect.
Yeah,
it ain't never
it's
gonna be
simple as
perfect.
that.
It ain't never gonna be perfect.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And the one I like is the one I think I am a little bit is something called a maven. Maven is where you violate people's views of reality. You're kind of disruptive. The idea,
That's you.
yeah, the idea is when you're talking truths to people that don't know truth, it messes with their head a little bit.
Right.
Well, what do you think? Well, how you know? What do you know? That's not that hard to understand. Okay, so really, last part about that is you don't really need an audience to prepare for the biggest moments of your life. People think you need an audience right away.
No, you know.
If you do that, then you're gonna kind of go towards what the audience wants, as opposed to who you truly authentically are.
Right.
So, okay, mind shift number 3. You cannot take everyone with you. What's that mean?
Oh,
You gotta cut a few ties.
yeah,
you know?
you gonna have to cut ties because as you grow,
Simple as
that
that.
person might not grow,
Yeah, he might
or
stay
they
the
might
same.
grow in a different way, and you're going this way, and they might be going another way,
Yeah.
and they just can't come with you
Right.
because they might not have the best interest for you
Yeah,
anyway.
that's
So
why you gotta cut some.
you gotta cut ties anyway.
Okay. This has to do with education. A lot of times when kids want your time as a teacher, what'll happen is all they got to do is complain or disrupt.
Mm-hmm.
And what that does is when you're a teacher and you understand that they're doing that to try to control you, then you got to kind of let that go a little bit. But that's the same thing with your friends. If you're trying to get better yourself, they're going to say, well, now we don't go hang out. We don't.
Yeah,
do the
we
same
don't.
stuff
Yeah,
used to
yeah.
do."
But meanwhile,
But you got to understand they're doing that because they fell in love with the old you.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
The
yeah.
new you is something that
Yeah.
they're just not.
They're not
they can't
accustomed
control.
Not used
Yeah.
to. I mean,
Yeah.
they'll replace you, no, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll always
We'll find
yeah.
somebody
They'll find
back
somebody else
back
to,
on
to
that.
yeah, to be you.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, if one of your friends is like 100% on board and completely committed to your vision, then usually you don't even bother with them as much, because they're just kind of just following along with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, as a result, you basically encourage bad behavior. I don't care what venue of life you're in. If you're not really recognizing, that you can't take everybody with you, then you're holding yourself back.
Oh, guaranteed.
Yeah.
That's the idea. So in school, a lot of conversations will be complaints, criticism, or conflict, struggle between past and future. So really, the primary responsibility for our school is not to preserve the past. It's actually to create the future. Same thing with you. When you are creative and you're trying to get somewhere and do something different, you're not really worried about preserving what happened before. You're more worried about what's going on after.
Simple.
Yeah. So one will actually cost you your traditions. The other one will actually cost you your children. And in education, like I said, if you keep doing the same thing, you're going to get the same results. Like I said, it's got to the point, where education is all about trying to educate them to get a job.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
terrible.
they need to
Math
stop
doesn't
that.
work.
They
Yeah.
have to stop that in schools now.
Yeah. Okay, so as a leader or as somebody that's trying to do better yourself, you want to try and make everybody happy, but it's not going to work. So the
You're gonna
idea-
lose happiness within yourself.
Yeah, like I
trying
said,
to make
whenever you
somebody
try to
else.
keep peace on the outside, you're going to create war on the
Yes,
inside.
yes, that's what you was talking
that
about
the
earlier.
last-
Yeah,
That's a good example. So sometimes you think in your mind, if I have one more conversation or hold one more meeting or give them a little bit more of my time, they're going to get on board. But
no,
sometimes they're just
they already made their decision.
They're on their own
They're
time.
just not.
They already
coming.
made the decision. It's not for it.
Yeah. So here's the biggest thing: if everybody agrees with you, you're probably not leading at all.
Oh, no.
For
You're
sure.
not doing anything for yourself.
No, there got to be somebody challenging
Yeah.
you,
Yeah.
telling you something that you're doing wrong or what's going on.
Yeah. So leaders actually create creativity. They raise standards and call people to be more. By definition, this creates a dividing line. So like I said, if you're trying to get somewhere, you're gonna have to drop some people off without without a doubt. You know.
Yes.
Like it or not.
Yeah. So great leaders, which hopefully we're going to become, are not afraid to define what it means to be on their team or their movement. Okay, you have to define that first for yourself and be able to share that with others. You know, that's part of your communication skills. And your vision is not going to be for everybody.
It's usually gonna be for you, and that's it.
A lot of times you got to go alone.
It's gonna be alone. It's gonna be a lonely road.
Yeah. So anytime you have great teams, they come with a shifting process or sifting process where you're just going to lose people.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times, you know, you're actually known for who you lost as opposed to who you're becoming.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Ooh,
that's
I
not
ain't
good.
heard of that one.
Yeah, you can't.
Oh, get ready.
You can't. Yeah, you can't.
What's
you
gonna
can't
happen?
be worried about.
They're always
you
gonna be
know,
like,
who
you
doesn't-
used to be
who doesn't mess
hanging
you.
with.
Yeah.
But you don't hang with them no more.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
Like I said, they fall in love with the old you. That just all comes back to that.
Mhm.
All ties back.
They're like, you fake, huh?
Yeah. That's you gonna hear that 50,000 times. You gonna they already thinking about it.
Okay, so up till now that you have this information, you can change. But up till now, you've allowed the people that are most resistant to change to have the most influence on your rate, pace, and scale of your transformation. So you got, like I said, you got to just let them go. And like I said, you got to make that decision for you. So you can generally, value people, but every one of them ain't going to be in your new reality. Because I'm saying if they're all still there, you're still doing the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, something's got to change. Okay, I want to ask you guys a question here. You will not learn from your choices if you don't experience your consequences. You will not learn from your choices if you do not experience your consequences.
We've been doing that since we was kids.
Oh, yeah.
You gonna learn through. It's just. If we break it down in a simple way,
Maybe one
you
of the
keep touching the
cameras went
stove,
out.
you're gonna get burnt. But that's the way you're gonna learn not to touch that stove, basically.
Oh, for
like
sure.
that in a shorter.
Repeat
example.
again, Ali.
Yeah, it says you will not learn from your choices if you don't experience your consequences.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Like you gonna,
Because
gonna
the
know the next
consequence
choice.
going to teach you a lesson, like he was saying.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that's what you're going to
You
understand.
ain't gonna know your next choice until you learn.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I shouldn't do that no more.
Okay, what a lot of people do though is when they make a choice, they try and pray to God and say, "Oh, please,
Let
I'm not
make
gonna do it
it.
again."
No.
I remember drinking one time. Oh my goodness, in college, I said, "I'll never do this again if I can live through the night."
I think most people do that.
Right.
I'm saying, like I said, though,
Get
God's
rid of-
not really there to alleviate your pain. He's actually there to transform your character. He knows you're gonna get through it.
Yeah.
He knows it. It's gonna be tough. And it was.
Yeah,
rough
it's
all
gonna be
night
fighting
long.
your life.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
You
a
drink
fight.
too much, you're gonna be
But
fighting.
after you do that, though, then it's done.
Yeah.
Right? Like I said, you have to be able to get your consequences. Otherwise, you're never going to get better.
Mm-hmm.
Most people think, "Oh, God hates me," or "God's doing this on purpose because He don't like me." No, it's to build your character.
You shouldn't even speak like that, honestly.
Yeah, so really, the very place that you're avoiding pain is the very place you will feel the most alive. What's that mean? The very place that you're avoiding pain is the very place you actually feel the most alive.
The place that you're avoiding
The
pain.
place that you avoid pain. Okay.
So think about things you don't do because you might get jacked up, or think about, you might lose some money, or you might lose,
Quitting that
I don't
job.
think like that.
Quitting that job. That's
No, that's job. You can get always another of those. That's easy.
Yeah, job's easy for you. You
Yeah.
don't have one.
Yeah, you don't have one.
He's funny.
I'm just saying. It's
Okay, repeat again so I
So
can
the
try to
very place
answer.
you're avoiding pain is the very place you feel the most alive.
Avoiding pain. Okay.
Yeah, think of an example.
Yeah, you gotta give me an example.
Give you one.
Yeah, give me an example.
I'm not trying to think too physical into it. I'm trying to think something else into that. Like,
I mean, because the only thing I'm getting is like the fear of something.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
Like,
The fear of something will stop you from feeling alive.
yeah, I mean, for me, say I don't mess with no snakes. So you telling me if I mess with a snake, that's really where I'll feel alive, I guess.
Oh, it'll
You
wake
shouldn't
up.
fear. I guess you shouldn't fear nothing but God. So
Yeah, I respect that.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I mean,
I'm scared of snakes too,
When,
though.
when I mean
Don't-
say fear,
I'm not gonna-
I'm trying to say I respect that.
Yeah.
I respect the
Respect is different
snake.
than fear.
So I
yeah,
mean,
Okay, give me your
Oh.
definition between respect and fear.
Which is respect is like you know what he can do.
Yeah, you know there's a danger. In
Yeah.
But I still fear though. I look at it the same
Okay, so
way.
you don't have a definition of
Nah,
fear.
I mean, fear is from point of view. If he comes closer to you, you gonna be out.
Okay, the biggest difference between respect and fear is fear has an emotional component to it, and you can actually think that something bad is going to happen. You could
And
fear,
it might not even
and
happen.
It never happens.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, that
Respect
makes
is
sense. That
different.
makes
So,
Yeah.
like,
sense.
and fear is false evidence appearing.
Real, yeah.
Yeah, he's right about
Fear isn't
that.
even right. So you can respect something because it is dangerous. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
If
yeah.
a certain
People
snake-
respect other people
Yeah,
because
Yeah.
Because
if
of what
you
they
got
can
a gun,
do
I'm
or-
gonna respect you whether
yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
up
If you
or
got a
not.
gun, that's respect. It's not
Yeah.
a
For
fear
sure,
thing.
for
It's
sure.
not fear.
Yeah,
When
yeah,
you
you're
fear,
right.
then you
But
emotionally-
once you shoot the gun, we already know we out it.
But you don't know if he's gonna shoot it.
I respect
You
that.
get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Until he does.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you're actually running from pain, you're moving into darkness. If you're moving with intention, you're moving into the light.
You said if you're running from.
When you're running
Pain.
from pain, you're actually moving into the darkness.
Agreed. Yeah.
So obviously, you don't want to be in the darkness. You want to be in the light.
Yep. So
So running from pain is probably not the right idea, right?
yeah, I
Yeah.
explain
You
that a
feel
lot.
most alive.
Yeah.
Huh? All right. So if you're running from all the hate, the criticism, danger, crisis, conflict, pain, wounds, you will spend your entire life running away from life. 'Cause
Oh,
that's what life
God.
is.
So you should run towards that.
Yeah.
Yeah, take
You
him on the
gotta
challenge.
understand when you run towards it, you see that it's not
Yeah.
near as what you thought it was.
Where you get that one? The quote from?
I don't
I
know.
like that one.
I
love that
I need
one.
to send that to
Yeah.
somebody.
I need to write that down on my phone.
I'm saying you always want to run
Notes.
towards what actually you're worried about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you'll figure out, why am I worried about it?
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
The truth is actually God got you.
Yeah, yeah.
No matter
no
what
matter
it
what it
is.
is.
For sure.
Yeah.
So if you're in good standings with God, don't worry about what happens.
simple,
physically.
simple.
So, all right. Oh, this is a big one. Eternity is not linear; it's relational. Eternity is not linear; it's relational. That's a hard one.
What you said? Linear or what is that?
Linear.
Eternity is
Yeah, I don't
not
know what
linear.
linear
like
is.
it's time. Like time.
It's not
like
forever?
From when you born till you die.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, that's linear. Okay, relational. Eternity is like forever.
Yeah, yeah.
So eternity is not linear. It's not like the earth was born here and it dies here.
No, no,
It's
Yeah.
actually
no.
relational.
Yeah, I mean those words are a little.
Yeah, it's a little bigger, a little
Yeah.
bigger.
I mean, not about the
No, no,
big
no.
point
They're
of
not
view.
big. They're
It's not from my point.
I
of
never-
View. I just don't use it too
yeah,
much.
yeah. I don't
Yeah.
come across them words.
This is
Yeah,
this is
hey.
the problem. I'm trying to stretch your brain.
I ain't
I
stretching
already
it.
know.
So eternity
Yeah,
is relational. So just do that part.
eternity's relationship.
Relation.
So
Eternity, okay, forever. That's what I'm saying.
right,
It's relational.
forever is all about relationships.
Okay, cool.
Has
Got that
nothing
one.
to do with being linear.
Okay, linear. You said okay.
Linear means like start, stop.
Start. Okay,
Start to
start and finish.
Yeah. So eternity isn't linear, it's relational. Okay, when you decide to have a relationship with God, you are stepping into eternity. Uh-oh. Here comes the truth.
He said you start stepping.
I'll read that
Amen.
one more time.
Okay.
Yeah, well, yeah. Hit me with it. Hit me with it.
When you decide to have a relationship with God, you are stepping into eternity.
When you have a relationship with God is forever, from my understanding.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But how's that true? You're going to die, right?
Yeah, but the
Regardless.
energy never goes nowhere.
Yeah,
Energy
yes.
does not
Energy don't.
die, what
Yes.
does energy do? It
I mean,
Trans-
you could say
yeah,
so,
trans-
yeah.
changes form.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm saying this is part of the truth you got to understand. If you understand that,
Mhm.
who cares about the body?
Right.
I'm saying when this
Said we
body
rent it
goes
out.
away, I'm gonna be.
You're-
I'm gonna
yeah.
have a different type of body you can't even touch.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
ain't
It's
gonna
going.
see
It's
me
going to be.
about
You ain't gonna see it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the crazy thing
But
they said
energy's
was that you're just renting your body for now.
Yeah.
Basically,
you
yeah,
die.
yeah.
It's
Your
like a
body's rented.
garage.
Yeah, your body's
It's like a
rented.
garage. It's rented.
Yeah, he's funny. That was crazy.
Okay, so entrepreneurs tend to be agents of change.
Agents of change.
Mm-hmm.
So they want to see change in the world, so they do something about it.
That's an entrepreneur.
I can understand that.
Okay, we are actually designed to create, not to maintain.
I
So
can
when
respect
you-
that.
When you're
too.
creating,
Yeah,
you're
when you're
definitely
creating-
changing stuff. You're
Yeah,
not-
for sure.
You're not
Yeah.
there just to keep.
Now you're
status
making
quo.
new things, you know.
Okay, so your leadership will not only gain people, it also lose people. You'll be defined at first by who you lose,
Yeah,
because there's no cost higher than people,
yeah.
because that's relational. When you move into relational, you're moving into eternity. So what you put into somebody else is going to be there forever.
I can respect that.
You could build a building with your name on it. That sucker's going to be down. In
Yeah,
100
that's gonna
years.
be
Yeah.
100 years. That could be
Taking
gone.
over.
Yeah,
But what you put into somebody,
somebody else. Yeah,
They can pass it down.
well, that person's going to take it with them into eternity.
yeah,
Agreed.
yep.
Okay. So you realize over time that not everyone belongs to your vision, of course. So having people choose to leave can be the greatest gift to you.
Yeah. Ooh.
It's a way you got to look at it. You can look at it as, oh my God, I can't believe I lost my wife. That might be your greatest gift.
Yeah,
that
might
might
be-
be what's holding you back.
That might be holding you back.
Yeah.
All right. Like I said, I told my wife, it's like, I'm one and done. I'm not getting remarried. You
Hey,
know,
I'm
if
like
something
that
happens
too.
to her, it's like, there's going to be a fire sale. You know what I mean? It ain't about the dogs. I don't think we're supposed to be taking care of stuff. Hopefully she don't watch all this, but I think I've told her anyway.
Yeah.
But I'm saying my
That person be
greatest,
taking care of stuff. Ooh.
yeah, the
Don't
greatest
say that
gift
to
to
her.
you might be, it's time to go.
Yeah.
Don't look at it as, oh my God, what am I gonna do now?
Yeah.
Nah, it ain't
Gone.
that serious.
It's like, no,
You,
born,
you move on.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah,
gonna happen
I'm one
regardless.
and
It's
done
gonna happen
too.
regardless. Yeah.
you're young to be one and done, bro. You must be hanging with me too much. I don't know.
Nah,
I just
man,
how
he-
I've been.
He make,
Okay.
How's how you
'Cause-
been before it?
Nah, for me, relationship wise, especially going to the marriage thing. I mean, if I make that first choice and if it doesn't work out, hey, I'm gonna be.
No, but it's gonna work out. No.
Oh, for
It's gonna
sure.
work
I
out for
understand. I mean, she's a good person and she definitely take care of herself and definitely other people.
Okay, so mind shift number 3 was you can't take everybody with you.
Yeah.
Okay, mind shift number 4, and this is gonna be the last thing we can talk about. They won't get it until you do it.
They won't get it until you do it.
They won't get it until you do it.
Yeah, you know how people like stay stuck.
Yeah,
They can't grow
because they never seen somebody else do it before.
Yeah,
You know, because even let's say in the hood, like most people they know of basketball players, football players.
That's
and
all they
rappers.
think about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the girls, they go to nursing or they do hair, they do nails.
Yeah.
It's only a
The
few
most
little
regular
things.
thing they seen.
Yeah.
Until they're done seeing that, and they can see another thing,
Yep.
and then they see somebody else do something different. They're like, "Oh, I could."
Yeah, I could do that too.
You know what I'm saying? So they get motivated by what they see.
Agreed.
All right, so what's this mean? Never be the first to eat the mushrooms.
I hate mushrooms.
Never be the
Nah, I
first.
like mushrooms, actually.
Nah, I hate mushrooms actually. But never.
Why would you not be the first one to eat the mushroom? I think you should be the first one, but
I mean, I'm
I'ma
never
have
be
to
the
know what
first
that
one.
mean
What
first.
I mean, the only thing I'm getting from there is see
mushrooms can be
see the let
mushrooms
the
can be medicinal or they can be poisonous.
see what
See, I wouldn't even think like that. I hate them so much. I'm
There's some
sorry.
mushrooms
Go ahead.
out there that you eat, you die on the spot.
See,
that's the ones I don't need. So that's,
You
I
gotta
don't
know
eat them
which
regardless,
ones it
but
is. Yeah, you don't
okay.
like mushrooms anyways.
we're just gonna stay
So
away
what
from.
if that was the only thing that's going to save you? What if you got some kind of disease? You got to eat this mushroom to save your
That's
life.
crazy.
I mean,
That's
you
crazy.
can't- you
That's crazy because then you gonna eat that mushroom.
Life
'Cause
ain't
you have
that
no other
serious.
choice.
I mean, life ain't that serious. If it's time for you to go, it's time for you to go.
Your
That's how
life
I
is
look
written
at it.
before you was
Because
born.
the thing
so.
about it is, they say, you getting closer to your source once you're out of here, realistically.
Yeah.
So why are you running away from
I
your
understand
source?
you're already close to your source when you're in here.
I
Yeah,
understand
yeah,
that,
yeah.
but I'm saying, I mean, we're chasing life too much sometimes, and that's how I look at it.
Life was already
Because
made
if
up
it was
before you
meant
was
for
here,
you to
so.
die, you gonna die.
Yeah, yeah.
Why you
Want
try-
to or not.
Yeah, yeah. You
All right,
have
so
no other choice.
humanity,
Yeah.
humanity actually advances through the courage and sacrifice of pioneers, adventurers, explorers, and innovators. So most new ideas face great opposition. Most new ideas face great opposition.
Face great lessons.
Could be lessons. Basically, like anytime you try to change something, you're making everybody mad.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
so
they don't
used to
want
being
because they don't
comfortable.
because they're so used to staying in that
Yeah.
in that
Yeah.
same lane or same idea or
Yep,
Okay, this one's going to
change.
hit you a little bit. Never
Oh.
surrender your uniqueness for acceptance.
Ooh, yeah.
So don't change yourself just to be accepted by others.
Yeah, I used to be like that.
Yeah.
oh, no, I
that's-
ain't changing
that's how-
myself.
That's how you used to start. I mean, when we first started, that's all it was middle school. We're trying to get accepted by everybody. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I ain't had much, so I try to make it look like I had something.
no, I always been myself actually.
Yeah.
I think people didn't like that.
That's good. That's good.
Okay, so no one can eat the mushroom for you.
You gotta do it yourself, basically.
Gotta do it.
Yeah, Garish, that's
That makes sense,
common
though.
sense.
Yeah.
So you must choose to go first and take the risk.
Take the risk. Yeah.
Think about everybody in your family right now. How many risk takers are there? I don't know any of them.
I don't know any of them. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, we have a few, but
Daredevils or risk takers.
I could
Yeah,
say-
yes, that's different. Two different things.
Yeah.
I'm just
I
saying. I
don't
said we
have-
have maybe like 2 or 3, something like
I
that.
probably got one.
All right, so
honestly.
you must choose to break away from the gravitational pull of expectations. You have to choose to break away from the gravitational pull of expectations.
I mean, because from a point of view, once you're expecting somebody to do something, if they don't do it realistically, you're gonna be mad at them, and that's gonna lead to failure.
Okay. But what I want you to do though is not worry about what other people are thinking about you or expecting from you.
Yeah, I mean,
You
I
gotta
can.
pull away from what everybody
I wasn't
expects of
even-
you and be you.
Yeah,
I'm
I
saying?
can understand.
Yeah, that's the
I ain't
idea.
worried about it. I took it the other way,
Yeah.
but
So you need to take time to figure out who you want to become. Okay, no one else can do that for you.
all right.
Everybody's going to have an opinion for you.
Yeah.
But I'm saying their opinion normally is projection on what they, what they feel comfortable with or what they're, they ain't gonna do themselves. Take time to nurture your own dreams.
Please.
Yeah, make the choices necessary to create the future you long for, and don't expect others to understand the path you have chosen.
Simple as
Oh
that.
yeah, because it's only your path.
Right.
They're not going to
How-
understand it anyway.
How would you expect it, to somebody else to understand what you're doing if it's not their path?
Mhm.
They can't
Yeah.
see the sacrifices. They can't
Everybody has
see-
their own journey.
Yeah. So you won't see it until you actually go after it. You have to start yourself. You have to do it yourself. You have to, get it going.
Simple as that.
So, that is basically all I had. So it's a pretty quick one, I guess.
Yeah, it's fine with that.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, as far as just to wrap up, you can't take everybody with you. They won't get it until you do it. You don't need an audience, and it's all about people. Like
I need to
said,
see that book too.
Oh.
You got something in there I really, really love.
Yeah.
I forget what you said. Something about the conflict one.
Okay.
About running.
Yeah.
What
Yup.
you
Run away
run
from.
Yeah.
is where you feel the most alive.
Yes, I need that.
Okay. Yeah, this actual book that I've been reading by this guy, he actually has 12 different mind shifts. But I'm saying if you can shift your mind to what he's talking about, then, like I said, you're not going to worry about anybody else. You know what I mean? It's just you're going to do what you're supposed to do and, end up where you're supposed to end up. It's all in your mind. So
Right.
that's about it, my brother.